Check, check. Should we start with some vocal warm-ups?
Wow!
Whoa!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off Axis podcast. I'm here with Ray Gillis. That's how you say your last name, right? Gillis?
Yeah, Gillis, G-I-L.
Ray Gillis, Jess Hill, and Allison Underdue.
What?
And right now we're in the middle of a Las Vegas crisis, coronavirus. No one has jobs.
Nope.
No.
So
We
first-
all lost them on the same day.
everyone lost their jobs on the same day. All of their jobs. So Ray worked for O and what was the other one? Absinthe.
Absinthe.
So what was like the first thing that you found out when you might lose your job? Like how did this all start for you?
As soon as Cirque announced that they were stopping touring shows altogether, and Vegas was the only thing running, that was like the Monday of the week of Friday the 13th. So whatever that Monday was, I think was the Monday they closed all the touring shows.
Yeah.
So that week we went down to one show a night instead of 7 and 9:30. We just did 7 o'clock shows. Or that's what the plan was going to be after. We continued our week as normal. We did Friday, Saturday, 2 shows. And then Saturday at 5, we got an email, 5 p.m. So like everyone was already at work. We got an email that MGM was planning to just shut down all operations completely.
Yeah.
And that the show had to stop. So the artists weren't told until 6 o'clock. And they were on stage doing their last 2 shows by 7.
Ooh.
And then we were told initially that we were going to keep our jobs as scheduled for the next week. So my schedule is usually Saturday to Tuesday. I work 4/10s. And Saturday night is when they fired Cirque. Sunday I came in at 10, spent the whole day just doing nothing. And then like the casino shut down. They shut off all the slot machines, everything. And then Sunday they laid everybody else off. So like the boutique, the box office, everybody else. And then that was the day like everyone didn't have a job.
Yeah. So you were like working halfway for Cirque du Soleil and halfway for MGM?
I worked full-time for O at Bellagio, box office, and then just part-time because I have 3 days off a week at Absinthe. So I usually fill it over there.
Yeah.
And I usher over there.
So on the internet it says Cirque du Soleil lays off 4,679 employees, 95%, basically just keeping the corporate people in Montreal, basically. Maybe some corporate people here. Jess, did you just get hired by Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, so I was at headquarters actually when all of this happened.
In Montreal, right?
Yeah, in Montreal. I was training to go work on a cruise ship in Italy and Spain and France. Yeah, so I was there for 2 weeks. We were supposed to leave on Friday the 13th. And on Thursday, so the day before we were supposed to leave, we were told that we were being sent home.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday, and then it took like maybe a week for me to get my flight back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it was just like a huge mess. Headquarters was the saddest place I've ever been. Yeah, because every single person there was being sent home. Some people for a year, some people for a month, you know, so it was like surreal to see everything just kind of like crumble right in front of us, you know.
Yeah. How many other people were there at headquarters?
I mean, the whole residency was full. So, I mean, hundreds and hundreds. There were 2 creations going on, another one that was about to start. And then, like, all the people that are there for rehab or, like, are just now getting integrated into shows. So, I mean, hundreds.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you know how long your contract was going to be?
Yeah.
Had that all gone through?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be for 6 months, from the 13th to the middle of October. And as of now, like, we were only supposed to be out for 4 weeks. But I just read something online yesterday that the cruise ship has like closed indefinitely. So we don't really know like what's happening or when we're going to go back.
That is crazy. So pretty
Yeah.
much any cruise ship is probably out of business right now for...
Yeah,
For a
at least
long
until
time.
April 30th, like every cruise ship in the world is closed. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if,
Hopefully on April 30th everything goes back to normal, though.
fingers crossed,
I
man.
hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to bring the mic a little closer to you?
Yeah,
Sweet.
there we go.
Yeah. And Allie, at least your shows are still on for summer, right, at SeaWorld?
Yeah, as of
Crossing
yesterday,
fingers.
SeaWorld is still on track to start. I think our first day is April 28th.
April 28th?
I mean, it's kind of a It's up in the air. I have no idea. But as of yesterday, we're still on. So
Ooh.
I'm really, really hoping it happens. And SeaWorld does have a long training rehearsal period time. So hopefully if it can't start end of April, maybe we can start, a little bit later into May. So we have some time to play with, but...
Yeah, and you guys have the 6-week period where you just swim and do trample, right?
Yeah. It's 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. People get in the best shape of their life. 4 hours of Chinese pole a day, 4 hours of tramp wall, swimming, running stairs every day. It's a lot, but it's basically like summer circus boot camp, and you're in San Diego. Your office is Mission Bay, so you can't really complain.
That sounds fun. I've always thought it was kind of weird how they pick out people for that show that don't have tramp wall backgrounds or do any tramp wall really at all. But it seems like everyone picks it up pretty fast, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time, what SeaWorld does is they usually pick people who they think would fit well in the cast, people who are trainable, who fit the mold for, the personalities that are within the cast.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody always figures it out.
I mean, you kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But 6 weeks practicing every single day, you could be pretty good at tramp wall at that. Like after that, as long as you have like a solid gymnastics background, which is why I feel like they just pick people with good form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is sometimes it's so much conditioning and pole, people get injured really early in the season. We had people last season who didn't even do a show last year.
But do they get paid, do you think?
They get paid.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean,
as long as they're at work, they get paid.
Yeah, when they get hurt, right?
Yeah.
That's always nice when there's companies that are like big enough to where they can like actually cover you.
Well, we
When-
thought that.
Yeah. Except for Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Except for the biggest company, couldn't figure it out. It sounds like they laid everyone off as a knee-jerk reaction so that we could all file for unemployment, but that's kind of turning out to be a disaster in and of itself. I filed right away. Some of my coworkers, some artists haven't even filed yet, and there's 200,000 plus applications already being submitted just for Nevada alone.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I tried to file
So-
last night and it wouldn't go through.
Like the website's down, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's too many
There's so
people.
much, and I told everyone, I was like, you need to file as soon as possible. We've had a layoff date because people are thinking that just because we're getting 2 weeks pay from MGM, Cirque's not getting any pay as far as I'm concerned. I don't think anyone's getting paid at all
Nope.
until we're back and running, and our first on sale date at this point isn't until May 1st.
Oof.
And it's, what's today? Friday the 21st?
Yep. 21st.
So we've got like a month and a half.
Do you guys think some of
minimum.
these shows will be closing indefinitely?
That's kind of our thought. So our thought process at Bellagio is the Bellagio is going to struggle if O isn't there. We make almost like, I don't know the numbers exactly, but we make a large percentage of the profit margin that's brought in for that property because we usually sell out and we're really expensive.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what happens, we might have a Larev situation where like either Blackstone or MGM might pick up the show. It might change. I don't know what Dragon like owns or doesn't or whatever, but there will be a show in that theater at some point when the Bellagio opens back up. Whether it's Cirque du Soleil or not, the theater's probably going to stay. It's too expensive to take down, and what else are we going to put there? So someone's got
That's
to
true.
pick up something. And that's like shows like Ka need to worry a little bit because their sales are not as strong.
They had a really expensive
But their
stage
stage
too.
is so
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
That would just be an absolute nightmare to take out.
If there's, that would take a long time, and that would cost a lot of money. And you can't really take that stage anywhere else. That's only for that show. All the parts are pretty much useless.
Right,
It was
yeah.
pretty custom.
You would have to develop a different show to adapt to that stage,
Yeah.
which might not be their worst option if they wanted to like change it.
Yeah. I think that's like my least favorite show in Vegas. Sorry,
It's a lot of
but-
people, and I know a lot of people at COD too, and I
Oh.
adore them, but we all have different opinions too. I mean, like
Yeah.
I really like the acrobatics.
Some people, it's their absolute favorite shows, Ka.
Yeah, there's just too much.
There's too much downtime.
Yeah.
It's too
It's a
slow.
lot of storyline, a
Yeah.
lot of visual.
Yeah.
It's visually amazing, but
They just did that
there's
wall
not-
for 90
there's not
minutes.
a lot of acrobatics in it.
Yeah.
That's why I like Mystere so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
It's just
Yeah.
back to back, act after
And it's
act.
so classic. It's just,
Yeah.
it's got everything. Yeah.
It's like a real circus show with all acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
And like the stage is pretty basic, which is why I think it's really cool. I feel like
Less is more.
And
Kind
they
of,
just had
you know?
they just had a
Exactly.
big technical malfunction 2 weeks ago too, and they stopped for 2 days.
Really?
One of their pipes burst and it flooded the whole underneath at Mystere,
Huh.
like during the show.
just make it a water show.
Yeah.
Utilize your
What you got?
mistakes.
I'm happy I at least got to watch that show like 2 weeks ago. So
I'm happy
Yeah.
I've got to see everything that's
Yeah.
open.
I've seen everything except for Zumanity.
Oh, you gotta see Zumanity.
It's good. The acts are really good. I don't know. It's not shocking anymore.
Yeah, I'm
It
not a
used
fan
to
of that
be.
show. That's probably my least
Like-
favorite Cirque
Oh
show.
my God.
Like
Really?
Brandon's
Yeah.
act
That's
makes
like my second
my
favorite.
hands
Ugh.
sweat every single time, no matter what, just because there's zero safety and
Yeah.
it's so well done. But like, there's nothing that's like, oh my God. I don't know. The old people complain about it, so they toned it back.
Really?
That's what happened.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot.
I mean, there's got to be warnings,
That
right?
orgy scene.
There-
Yeah,
It's-
it's a lot.
It's 18 and over, but like for our
so
age group,
good.
we're just like whatever, boobies. Like
I mean,
That's
I'm
not
from
new.
South Carolina, so I remember when I saw it, like my jaw was dropped the whole time. Like I cannot believe that Cirque put something like that.
Well, I feel
on
like
stage.
Absinthe is a little bit more.
Absinthe is a lot more shocking
yeah.
than
Really?
Zumanity.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I think
totally
Absinthe has the
disagree.
shock value that just people are not expecting.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they talk about
Yeah,
Everything.
the language
Yeah.
is
the
intense.
yeah, more so because of
it's
the
a lot of language.
Yeah, but they're not having like orgies on stage.
No, but
Are
And
they
they're also
actually
racial
like
profiling.
pretty
and,
naked in the show?
Absinthe or Zumanity?
Zumanity.
They have
Oh.
like costumes that look like they're topless, but they're not.
No, all
Are-
the
are
they're
they
all
topless?
Yeah.
There's some girls
Huh.
that are topless. There are
For the
some
most
girls that have like costumes that are accentuated to look like they're topless. Like Jill's act, she wears like a full bodysuit during the straps thing. Like she's not naked.
Yeah, the
but
straps
it looks
girl,
like she's naked
but
from
all
far
the
away.
dancers pretty much the whole time
Yeah.
are naked.
Like nipples out?
Nipples.
There's nipples out, but like that's
Lots
it.
of
There's
nipples.
nothing.
I did not
else.
know that.
So
And like one person is having like a mic'd orgasm like during their
Yeah.
act. Yeah, it's insane.
there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that happens. It all makes sense when you're watching it, but
Paid masturbator.
I love their theater though. It's so cute.
Really?
It's like it seats about as many as Mystere, but it's got a balcony,
Yeah.
so it is like a lot smaller, and then it comes out like a thrust. So like everyone's kind of like in the same vicinity. Like it feels very intimate
I
as
hope
far
they
as the
don't
Cirque
cancel.
shows.
I have to see that show
They're,
now.
She just
yeah,
wants to see all the nipples.
unfortunately, like they're one of our bottom list ones.
Yeah.
I usually don't even sell for them. I'll go like weeks without selling for Zumanity.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's like shows that I sell more than others. Michael Jackson and O are the two top selling Cirque du Soleil shows. O is like the absolute top. Michael Jackson I can't stand, but
Do you guys
Onto
like
that.
Michael Jackson?
I thought it was okay. I only saw it once and I sat in the very, very back row.
Me too.
So like from the back it seemed fine, but
It's just kind of weird.
like, I
Like
didn't make out any shapes, but
yeah.
they have Russian
looks fine.
swing, and like you don't see.
Right.
you don't
Russian
see it at all.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you do the most dangerous act and then put it behind
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, there's
Doesn't
some
make sense to
choices.
me.
Right.
I also feel jaded because I saw the Immortal World tour before I saw one, and I felt like that was a lot better done.
Really?
Like the acts made more sense, the flow of it made more sense, and like one just felt like a scrap together version of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's why I don't like it, but
What was your guys' favorite Cirque du Soleil show you've seen out of all of them
running or past, present, whatever.
ever?
Kidam.
Where's that? Is that touring?
They were touring from 96 to 2016.
Ah. What about you, Jess?
So actually it was a show that I was in. It was just like a 20 show install that was in Canada in 2018. Yeah, and it was
That was
dope.
dope.
But it had Russian swing, tramp wall, Chinese pole, tumbling, and these like crazy hip hop dance, like girl dance group.
Was that where you did like the stomping and stuff?
Yeah, it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
He's like,
Yeah.
I'll edit out the language later. It's fine.
I might actually. I've noticed that some of my podcasts get demonetized because
of language. Yeah.
Because of language.
Yeah.
Apparently, YouTube can literally read what you say now.
Mhm.
So if there's bad words, they'll just like
There's words that
demonetize your video.
they go through. Yeah.
Come on, Jess. Get
Sorry. I'm the worst.
don't even
No
worry
worries.
about it. I'll just mark. Anyways, Allie, what show is your favorite? Ever?
I've only ever seen a show in Vegas. I've
Okay.
never seen a traveling show, but I do like Mystere. I think that's my favorite. And
Mystere's dope.
and then closely following is Humanity.
At least
But-
you have a correct
But
opinion.
I have a background in burlesque dancing, and I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
the nakedness and the dirtiness. I kind of gravitate towards that. So,
I think they would have been better off going that direction, or just like revamping Humanity. This like run didn't find an audience for anybody, and that was like the biggest issue from the get-go. Like when they told us at the box office, like they tried to explain the show, like Cirque comes to us and they give us all this stuff to like talk about, and we're like, so what are
live
we
action thriller.
so what are we supposed to tell people, because they have no idea what's going on.
It was just like a giant fight scene,
Yeah.
right?
It was like, yeah,
Yeah, I feel like every show kind of needs that feeling out period, like Volta did for the first year, where they
Right.
Volta's had it rough.
cut acts and like switch things around. But when you have such a high budget show, there's no room for like fixing it.
Right.
You're just like, there's this huge budget and they have to meet like a certain like quota every month.
Yeah. You only get one shot.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, like just Cirque over the years, especially since TPG took over, like they're relying more on the technology than what's happening.
Yeah.
So like I felt like when I went to the show, they're like, yeah, we spent $62 million on this stage, and it was all projections. So I was like, where's the cool set pieces? Where's the stage like car? Like where did the $62 million go? Because
Yeah.
like the O
Dang.
Theater was $55 million, and we've got a 1.5 million gallon pool of water.
Yeah.
Like they have nothing. They have a basic stage, some screens, and projections.
That's
There's
weird.
nothing on stage.
That is weird.
Scaffolding
all
is not
went.
a set design.
Yeah. I'm just
Michael
kind
Jackson, if you're listening.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of sad because that was the one show I was being presented for Cirque.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of
so
people
I
like
was
wanted to
finally,
jump in.
maybe I'm actually gonna make it into a show, and then the coronavirus happened.
Dun dun dun.
Well, actually, that show closed before that.
Yeah.
If they would have held on 1 week, they would have closed with every other show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should have held on
They-
and just pretended like that's why.
Like that's why it closed, which would have been smarter, but
but
I saw it 3
what can you
times
do?
and it got worse every time.
Really? I didn't see it at all. I kind of wanted
I
to
didn't
see it.
either.
And you
Yeah.
have to sit all the way in the back. Like they were selling, like the seating map was all over the place. You could like book a group of 10 and each like couple of seats would be a completely different price point for no reason.
That's
Because they
weird.
had like limited view on the sides because you couldn't see up the wall. But if you're like 5 seats this way, it was a different price. Made no sense.
And that's the same theater that Chris Angel was in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the difference is Chris's show was all on the stage. This one they use like the walls like Michael Jackson does all the way to the back.
I love
So if
that
you're
he has
sitting
all the,
against
I
it,
know.
all the facts.
yeah, if you're sitting against it, you can't see. But like, the whole thing was dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. I really
Yeah, it
liked
is
the Chris Angel show.
Yeah,
I
I really
Really?
liked it too. I liked
Which
it.
one though? Believe or Mind Freak?
Mind Freak.
Yeah.
I only saw that
Okay.
one.
It was-
But
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It wasn't. I mean,
I
it
saw
wasn't
it, like, 5
the
times.
worst thing. I think the cancer ad thing in the middle of the show.
that was
with
weird.
It was
Dennis
weird.
Tolstoff's absolutely stunning hand balancing act that nobody cared about because there's cancer children
Everyone
on
was
stage.
crying.
Jesus, what a choice that was.
Oh God, I know that was really, really
It was like-
weird.
You guys are horrible.
One of the best hand balancers, like who lives out here, besides like Dima Shine and like people, like one of the absolute best, act completely ruined by what's going on stage.
It's yeah,
Like they're just like,
definitely poor choice. In like they should have just not had something going on during that instead of like
right,
crazy like mind
was the
blowing
only
hand balancing
act.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the whole thing was the only circus. Everything else was
yeah.
like,
But he's a really good showman. Like he is really on point with his choreography and like everything that he does in the show, which I was really impressed with. Like I heard bad things about it, and so I went with no expectations, and it was actually one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, it was.
yeah, I
good.
don't think it was inherently bad. I just don't think it should have been a Cirque show.
Yeah,
kind of like how everyone felt about round 2, but it was like the best like Six Flags show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If you just dropped it in at Six Flags, you're
That's
set. $10 a ticket. Heck yeah.
I
Just
think
take the
Six Flags
language
shows
out.
are free.
That
They
is
come
true.
with the ticket, I think.
But like they
Yeah.
do like Cirque du Soleil, and don't you guys charge?
No,
No.
Oh, I thought
it's
you
included
charge-
in the
Oh.
park ticket. Yeah.
Yeah, all theme parks are like that. I don't think you have to pay for any show in a theme park. Maybe Universal, but I don't think so. Have you guys seen a Jabberwocky show?
I haven't seen them
No.
yet. We don't get comps for some reason for them. They're the only one we don't.
I really like them on the America's Best Dance Crew, though. So.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
were
like not
so
even
good
them
on that.
anymore.
Oh,
It's
really?
like
No.
a
Yeah,
completely
they're
different
smart
cast.
because they
they
always
wear
have a
masks,
mask on, so
so
people can just get
they just rotate them
interchanged.
out.
I think that's the problem now.
How
They're
do I-
like,
Yeah.
anyone can be in the
any,
Jabberwockies.
like literally any break dancer can probably get into that show.
Or like the Blue Man Group, you can just paint your face
Right.
blue. And you,
Their
you never
theater's
know.
also like the size of this room, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, I saw the Jabberwockies at Universal Studios, and it was terrible. There was no break dancing except for one little tiny part. It was just all choreographed dancing. And I was like, oh, this is not what I
Oh, boo.
expected to see. I expected like break dancing the whole time.
Yeah,
But I feel like they just got so big so fast they couldn't keep it up with the talent.
Right.
I'm just shocked they have an audience.
Yeah.
Like, who has heard of the Jabberwockies in the last 10 years? And they have a show that runs every day at MJ.
They have one.
Green.
Yeah, they have one here, right?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
I mean they don't sell tickets, but like
No?
like not at all.
I feel like if I was a tourist, that would be a show that I would go see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you pay
Yeah, why not?
$90 for it?
No.
Because that's
no.
what their tickets are at.
I'd pay like 50,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I think 50.
Fif-
Yeah,
50 or
I think
less.
like 50 or less.
Yeah.
I think they
Kids
need to
are like
lower
20
the prices of circus
Of
tickets.
everything. Well, after
Like-
this, we're all gonna. I don't know what like it's even gonna look like.
Yeah. Well, I think what's going to happen is instead of being a gigantic monopoly, Cirque is going to like take out some of their shows, and it's going to be less shows, and it's
Yep.
going to give more chances for other competing companies to
To
like
get bigger.
to put in shows, because it doesn't make sense to me that Cirque du Soleil has a show in all of these places. Like,
We
wouldn't
have
someone
too many in Vegas.
wouldn't someone want
to
a
begin
different
with.
kind of show instead
Right.
of like the one that everyone else has? It's kind of weird to me. It's like
Yeah.
because I personally don't like most of their shows. I like Volta and Mystere, but
Okay,
like
so you
the-
like kind of OG like
I like to see talent.
abstract
Yeah,
talent, like real acts and stuff. Okay,
Traditional acrobatics.
traditional.
Yeah, I don't want to see.
Which I think everyone wants. They want the like traditional Cirque du Soleil show. They want to see some weird French Canadian abstract talent.
Yeah,
That's what they want to see.
and they have such talented people, but it's like masked with all these crazy effects.
But like they
Yeah.
started letting that go. Like as soon as we went 7 days a week at O, like our talent level tanked. Like I feel really bad for most people that spent like their whole career there. But some of the new kids they're coming in, they integrated them a lot quicker than they should have in like a matter of weeks.
Yeah,
And that stage is hard to learn because there's so many cues for everybody. It's so dangerous, like with the water, and like they don't have the advantage like Le Rev does of having like the escape tunnels wherever. They can only exit like 2 places on stage. So
Dude.
it's like the safety protocol and like, I don't know, their coaching kind of let down. Like we had a massive Russian swing accident like a week after the new team went in.
yeah, there was a big
because-
crash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing one drop there, like when we were doing the safety thing for the pool, they're like, don't go here or here because
Yeah.
you will be crushed like to death.
It's a dangerous,
like
it's a really dangerous
super
stage.
sketchy.
Scared.
Ooh.
It's kind of like Ka, like they're like if you step in the wrong place, like you could get really hurt, or just
Yeah.
like sink to the bottom of the 25-foot
was
pool.
was that person okay?
I don't even know who it was. The kid was so new; he'd been there for like 2 weeks,
2 weeks, and then he
and then like
didn't he
almost
miss
died.
the pool.
That sucks.
The Russian swings are super close to the pool. I guess I wasn't in the theater when it happened, but I was working out when it happened. What I heard was he launched up and the pusher knew right away that he wasn't getting any distance at all. So he was on the side swing. I think it was stage left. Went up, straight up, bailed out of his trick and fell straight down back onto the stage and missed the pool that was like 2 inches away. So I guess they came out and put up like the black curtain that they're always ready with, the
Yeah,
Dang.
like get him out of here curtain.
like
Like
the
please
show
don't look.
ended, right?
Like the show stopped, I don't think we ended that day, no, but we stopped for 20 minutes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so show stop.
Do you know if he's like?
I heard he's recovered. I heard it actually wasn't that bad. I don't really have any like point of contact to check in on what, but
Yeah.
he didn't die and doesn't seem to be paralyzed, so
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hope he's doing
there
better.
we go.
What do
Be
you
fine
guys?
in a few months.
I think that Russian swing,
It's so scary.
in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous apparatuses
is.
you
Oh,
can
for
do.
sure.
It really is.
Yes.
Like I mean, maybe even one at the top.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
it's one of the top.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite apparatus, but like I've seen some really bad things happen on swing, like traumatizing to even watch. You know, like people are
Yeah.
killed on
Even
Russian
in-
swing all
yeah.
the time.
Even
You
that
cannot
workshop I
get-
did, Austin had that like super bad fall. Like,
Yeah, I don't want to do Russian swing because of how dangerous it
I
is.
love it though. It's so
fun. It's really, really fun. It gets addicting because you just like, you get it. It's like flying trapeze, I love, but it's so expensive I can't train it.
Yeah.
But it's the same like feeling where you just like want to get right back up and like do it. I don't know. It's one of those. It's not like
Yeah.
trample.
Tramples, I like things that don't rely on like equipment. Like
Right.
I would not
Yeah.
want to do aerial because you're relying on equipment, or like any of the. It just seems like equipment, especially when you're like dealing with $1 million equipment, can be so dangerous. And like you're just hanging on for dear life at some times, or like I don't know. I just don't like adding death factor to like cool
Yeah.
arts. I'd rather just see talent than like talent with death factor.
Right.
Like if you need to add the death factor, it's not as cool to me as something that's just like some crazy floor tumbling or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, like one of the most impressive things to me is the Larev girl solo. Like when they do the solo.
Oh,
Stuff.
the Red
The
Man?
Red Man song?
Yeah,
think
I
so.
love that.
Yeah, and it's like an inch of water or something.
Oh, for Splash?
I think so. No,
Well-
it's like a girl solo. It's like
Yeah, there's no
crazy
water at that
tumbling.
point.
There's like
I know
a
Ash
girl
Stott does
solo
that
during
one.
Red
Yeah.
Man, and then there's a solo guy solo
For
who's in, like
Splash.
3 inches
Oh
of
yeah,
water.
not that one.
I
Yeah,
love
I think
Splash.
you're thinking of Red Man.
Hmm. Why is it called Red Man if it's a girl?
There's like 8 of them in red dresses.
The guys in the red skirts.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
she
they're in
comes
yellow
during
now.
that act.
They're they're yellow.
Oh, that
they're in
makes
yellow
sense.
skirts now. It used to be red, so they're called red.
No, they
now.
rip them off. and they
Oh, it
turn
is.
into
No,
red.
I think you're right because they have yellow for
Starts yellow
Beam of
and then
Light.
they rip them off and
Oh.
they turn red.
Spicy.
I really like the new Beam of Light costumes though. They're really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that show and I was just like, man, I'd be so tired.
I just hate the music.
Yeah,
now.
it was a hard show for sure.
Yeah. How
I
long
ha-
were you in it?
I was only there for 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah, and I left like as the big changes were happening. So I feel like I was lucky because I got to be a part of the show when it was still a little bit dark. Versus, I mean, I haven't seen the changes, but I hear that it's very like Disney,
Yeah,
you know. So
it's
but,
very
yeah.
like celebrations
Yeah.
at Epcot.
My only thing with it is it's just kind of repetitive. It's
It is
crazy dive, then dancing,
Dance,
then
dance,
crazy
dance.
dives, then dancing.
Yeah.
I really don't like the ballroom dancing. It's
Yeah,
just
me
not
either.
interesting to look at all.
Yeah, I liked it
like
for the
it.
first
You
30
like it?
minutes.
Yeah. But I
They
did
either need
dance.
like more of them or just not do it at all. Because there's so much
Yeah.
like space just like not being used. I don't know.
I liked it a lot though. Like I was entertained the whole time.
yeah.
Some of the shows I get
it's fast
bored.
paced, and they took out their clown acts, which I think helps with the pacing. Because we were talking about doing that at O as well. I don't know if they're gonna do any changes or not now, but
I'm sorry, but the clown acts in O are not good at all.
okay. The first one I'll argue is cute, the very first one, but that's all they should do if they're in at all.
Just gotta,
The
like,
seven,
cut a little time off.
yeah, and cut some time off it. The second
Just a
one
little
is
bit.
completely unnecessary, and it's like 7.5 minutes long. for
Are you
no
talking about the
reason.
water where the water comes out? That one?
That's the first one. I think that
Okay.
one's fine because it has a cute little storyline or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't match the show at all, but whatever. The second one is just completely pointless.
Yeah, I think it was the second where I was like,
The second one, they just
who picked
completely
this?
lose everything, and then they cut the zebra act, the cod, like to nothing. It used to be a 4.5 minute act. They cut it to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Dang.
You have
Yeah.
all the information.
I know.
I've also seen like way too many times.
I wish there
All
was
the
more high
facts.
dives. Like they
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
do a few, like
Yeah.
3 jumps or something.
Yeah.
Like I want to
There's
see
not.
a
Yeah. There's
bunch
not a lot
high
of
dives.
diving.
Right.
Yeah. I always thought we should get like a rain curtain or something too. We don't like use any of like the water doesn't go anywhere. It just sits there.
Yeah.
Like Larev, they put the fountains in, I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of cheesy, but like, what else are you gonna do?
Just
to a
adds
water
another
show?
element.
Yeah, it just like adds like level to it.
It's
I
like the
don't know.
Bellagio fountains. But
Exactly. Well, I think we should capitalize on that.
yeah.
Half these people don't know what they're buying anyways.
Yeah. But the Russian swing act is insane.
It's
And it has
so good.
such a good vibe.
so
like
good.
the
Yeah.
music and everything is so perfect for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the music is perfect.
happy.
Yeah, the energy is always on point. They always tell
Uh-huh.
everyone to like just be like the biggest personality you can.
Mm-hmm. And the level
It's
of diving
great.
in that is just so
Yeah.
It's
insane.
astronomical. Like those, oh my gosh, some of the stuff they pull, I'm like, how do you find the water
Yeah.
after 5 flips?
Yeah. I don't understand, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, those people, and then what's that other show that does Russian swing? Dragon, the one in
Oh,
the
House?
House
House
Against the
Against the
Water.
Water, yeah.
Yeah. Those people are really
Those people are
good.
insane.
Those
Yeah.
swings are so high up.
They
Oh
have
my
some
God.
really good girls,
I
and that's
love
one
watching
thing
their
that O is kind
videos.
of missing. Like O has a couple of girls that fly swing, but they do very simple
Yeah.
tricks. Versus at
Yeah.
House, like the girls there are doing like crazy
Really
tricks.
Well, they're all
Ridiculous.
like ex Red Bull divers and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I like diving though. Diving's fun.
Yeah, same.
Our diving is just not, well, like the theater doesn't match how the show should be.
Yeah.
Like from half the seats in the theater, you can't see anything. Like the high dive act, they can only see to the top of the first like
Ooh.
lower section, and like past that, like nobody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in the balcony, you have no idea that people are about to dive until they dive.
That's
like, you don't see
unfortunate.
anything at all.
I've only had good tickets for that show,
Yeah.
so I got pretty lucky. Thanks, Ray.
So welcome.
Yeah, it was good showing up late because they were like, "Hey, do you want to sit up in the front?" Because
And
there's
you're
no
like,
one up
"Sure,"
there.
'cause
I'm
there's no
like,
one there.
Hell yeah, let's sit up in the front.
It was like right when this outbreak started that our sales started to
Just tank.
just tank. Before we canceled after Saturday, I don't know what we were at Saturday. We were probably a little higher, but Monday we had only sold 6% of the theater on Monday.
Well, everyone's just.
We
in
had
there.
94%
sad.
occupant or 94% vacancy
Oh.
Wow.
That's
for a show
crazy.
that is normally never below 90%
Yeah.
at all ever. 7 or
They're
9:30.
gonna have to drop the price of tickets.
Well,
Yeah.
we just raised it by $60 2 months ago each ticket. So you're looking at like the lowest are about 150.
I bet whenever shows come back though, they'll do like a buy one get one free or
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely.
Well, no one's gonna
We'll
want
have
to
to-
sit in
yeah.
a theater with people breathing on them after this.
Right.
Like this
and
is
no one is
be
gonna
like
have
so
any money
long.
to like buy tickets.
To buy tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the hard things about this industry is like there should have been a safety net in place for this to happen.
Right. And like how many weeks of training do the shows
Need to
to do
operate,
before
yeah.
they can reopen?
And when is it safe to do that? Like when can you be like all 200 of you need to show up
We don't
at
know
2
when.
o'clock?
Like, when is this
Like this
gonna
is
be
so
over?
like
And
up in the air at
They have
this
to
point.
rehire everyone too, right?
Coronavirus. just
So
leave.
I don't know how that works. When I left, so Saturday they told us that we were canceling shows. So Sunday I brought a change of clothes because I knew I was gonna get laid off Sunday and I was gonna drop my stuff. And then, but they didn't have us turn in like our cash banks, like our tills. They didn't have me turn in any like the keys I have, the codes I have, anything to like the theater, nothing like that. So like they're acting as if we're like on a extended dark.
Yeah.
Is kind of like what I feel like is happening. But now people are like concerned about like the unemployment aspect versus like what are they paying us or does that matter or
Yeah.
like there's no like safety net.
It's kind of weird if you're gonna file for unemployment because it takes
Weeks.
Does it take
weeks
forever?
to
Like
a
weeks
month.
and especially now with the volume, but they also took out all the qualifications. Like you don't have to look for a job or
Oh, really?
some of the other stuff. They took all that out because they know nobody's like everyone's screwed at this
You
point.
can't even.
Like you can't
get a
where am I supposed to look for a job? They put in like when I did it before they took out the qualifications, they're like, what kind of jobs are you gonna be looking for at this time? And I'm like, box office, usher, theater, like all the stuff that's like not gonna come back.
Yeah.
Like,
When I filled it out last night, it still said like you have to fill out job applications.
just fill it out but they're not gonna make you
Right.
look for work or you don't have to submit like a once a week work application.
Yeah, it
thing
was
or
like, what
anything
kind of
that.
like career are you looking for? And I typed in
Circus,
acrobat, and they were
acrobats.
like, no results
no.
found. It's like, okay.
And
Your job
that's,
doesn't
like, the
exist.
sucking
That's
thing
not a
about being
career.
an acrobat or a performer is
I
you
just Yeah, there needs to be.
You don't really have that many options.
Well, yeah, there just needs to be a greater safety net, and I feel like there should. I don't know what the solution would even be, but I feel like companies should have had enough to stay. Because like after Run closed, they were telling us, even like my managers, that like we were losing a lot of money, which is why we raised our prices. We started doing a lot more like campaign like ramp ups. Our ads started changing. And then we went 7 days a week, but then we kind of screwed ourselves over with that too.
Yeah.
But it was like Run was like, it might be the show that breaks the company, and that would really suck.
Well, yeah, when
because we were fine kind of before that, but then, I mean, what a money pit.
I think they were just getting a little bit too big.
Yeah,
like,
we got too greedy. We got way too
sure.
greedy. We acquired way too many companies. It became so disconnected. Like every department like wasn't talking to each other. Stuff wasn't getting fixed. We had a curtain ripped for like 8 months. We had a stage lift that was broken for a week. I mean, it was just like repairs and stuff weren't being done.
Yeah.
And then all the new artists are not, like, they had no idea what's going on the whole time. And they still don't.
Yeah. I feel like most big companies go through that. They acquire as many assets as they possibly can. They get really big. It turns into this big headache trying to manage all of these things. And then, like, right now, they probably got the chance to, like, cut ties with, like, all this stuff and pretty much start over. And they might use this as an opportunity to kind of, like, you know, shed off some skin.
Yeah, I think it's a big restart. I'm curious what's going to open up first and what's not going to open ever.
Yeah.
Like, how long
Which
do you
is
think?
really
How long do
shitty.
we think this is really going to be going on?
I mean,
2
so
months.
I'm hearing,
like
I'm hearing
not
an
even
average of 6 months.
I'm
from
hearing
family
like 3 to
members and
6
stuff.
months at like minimum.
Yeah, I mean that seems really long. I was expecting, you know,
A month.
a couple
is what
weeks a
everyone
month,
wants,
but I feel like every day it
gets
just
worse.
seems to be worse than the day before, and now I'm kind of. I wasn't so scared before, but now I'm kind of like maybe I should be a little scared.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There just
It's
should've
just
been
the
a-
unknown. Like
Yeah, it's a lot of unknown. Like everyone at work is like, "Oh, you're coming back." Like we're not saying goodbye, and I'm like,
but am I though?
"Are we sure?" Like
think
the
O will be
Bellagio that hasn't closed its doors in 22 years, operating 24 hours a day, just closed like for a week.
All the facts.
Yeah. It's like an encyclopedia
Oh, God.
of
I
circus
know.
facts.
This is great.
Should have you on more often. Every time we're talking about circus, like, I don't know.
I know
You
way
just be like,
too
well,
much.
actually this.
Just tell me to shut up.
No, it's great. Do you guys want to wrap it up here?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys want to shout out your
Thank you,
pages
Tanner.
and stuff?
Thank
Ray, where do you find yourself?
Instagram Ray Gillis, RayGillis. Facebook is the same.
Sweet. And Jess is Jess Hill.
Jess Hill 0301.
0301. And Allie.
I'm acrobat_Allie, ALLY. Follow
Awesome.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Let's be friends.
Check us out.
Let's be friends.
Yes.
Best friends.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Peace. Don't get
Bye.
the coronavirus.
Don't do it.